Welcome back, and today we are going to be playing a plane. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to be putting in the background. I am just going to be talking to a blank screen. I didn't really prepare this and I don't really have time to do so, but I do want to chip into the conversation to at least let people know that I'm on their side and I'm not with whatever Gaijin is cooking up currently. This is a topic that I don't regularly go into because I'm an advocate of do it with the cards that you are dealt and just simply go with it, make the best of what we have. But we are now at a point where the game is really going into the wrong direction, and it has been for a while. And if you have been following me for years now, you know that occasionally I will talk about the future and my concerns, and unfortunately, most of the times, 2, sometimes 3 years later, everything I predicted ended up being true. The same thing with the T2 being added, the same thing with copy-paste slop, and that is going to be one of the main topics of today's video. I have been saying for a while that once Gaijin runs out of new shiny planes to add, new shiny tanks, boats, whatever you want, even infantry now, which I think is a complete joke, that the game is probably going to get a bit of a decline, and they went way too fast. Look at top tier. F-18 comes in, it's way too late because we now already have Su-30s and F-15Es, stuff like that. It was completely outclassed, and that is a shame because the F-18 is a plane that is honestly, I wouldn't call it one of my favorites, but it's definitely up there, and I think it's a shame that it's as mediocre as it is. And I'm of course not talking about the 12.3 one, because that one is honestly pretty damn good, but overall we are running out of planes to add. They have gone way too fast, especially when they added the Ravioli and the Eurofighter, and just before that the F-15E. We could have done this at a much slower pace. Fill in the blanks, fill in the gap between the battle ratings, because they add planes that shouldn't be able to see certain planes, even in a full up tier, and it's 0.3 higher because, well, that's the highest BR that we get, and they refuse to hire it. And if we get lower BR vehicles first, say the F-18, which is worse than the F-15, at least in top tier, then the transition would be a lot more smooth and it wouldn't be nearly as frustrating, and in the long run pretty counterintuitive, because now when you add a new plane that might be hyped, it might just be completely DOA simply because the matchmaker and the overall sandbox that it finds itself in is completely saturated with planes that have been added 2 years ago that should realistically not even have been added by now, at least in my opinion. Now we get these incredibly strong top tier vehicles, and then for the rest of the year we get basically nothing. We get copy paste. We get our 20th F-16A with MRAMs or without them. Perhaps it has magics, perhaps it has only AIM-9Ls, perhaps it doesn't even have functional radar missiles. All fine and dandy. Then we go to the events. Out of the last 10 events, I think we got about 1 or 2 fighters. All of them are ground attack planes, and there is nothing wrong with this. I understand that if you are a tanker and you want a top tier cash vehicle because you just don't really play planes, or you don't play Araby, which I completely understand because the game mode, well, it's definitely not the best it has been. There have been some positive changes as well, namely the ticket bleed system, the extra RP if you get more than 3 kills, and those things are nice and good, but at the end of the day we are looking at a game with 3500 vehicles or something, and realistically we have 3 game modes. And it's just a shame how much wasted potential is in this game. But circling back to the event vehicles, yes, 8 out of 10 are ground attack planes, but not only that, they are the exact same planes that we have in the tech tree, in another tech tree, and they're all copy paste, and it's the same thing for all the new premiums. And to a certain degree, sometimes I understand the reasoning. Let's add a good plane to the Swedish nation because they are pretty bare boned. completely understandable. I don't mind when a copy-paste vehicle fills in a gap or makes it so that the nation isn't completely helpless when it comes to grinding, when it comes to just playing the game, and just making the overall tree more competitive so you have more incentive to grind it. That is something that I understand. What I don't understand is that we have 12 different fucking tornadoes in every nation and they just keep adding premiums that are the exact same thing, and then when they finally do add a new vehicle that is completely unique, or it's a variant that people have been waiting for, think about something like the F-14D, it's a premium. People have been requesting the plane for years at this point. We finally get it. It's a premium. Now, with the F-14D, at least with how it's on the dev server right now, it's essentially an F-14B and it doesn't really add all that much, which is a shame in itself, but if they're going to be adding it like this, that I don't have as much of an issue with it being a premium, but I do have an issue with the selective realism where they choose and pick what plane they want to make what spec. You have a Russian source, accepted straight out of the gate. You have an actual documented report. Nah, we don't like that tank, we don't like that plane. We are just going to be ignoring it and marking it as not a bug. The Cold Mine Man made a pretty good video on this topic. He went over all the points that I kind of wanted to go over, but personally, I just don't have the time to do so right now. Work is kicking my ass, real life is kicking my ass. My health is kind of deteriorating, but we're gonna be completely okay, so no worries about that. But it is causing a bit of a slump, and it is kind of hard to keep my head up and just keep on plowing through. I of course will, because that's just what I have been doing for the last 28 years. And no, I'm not trying to be corny, I'm just letting you know why this video is as low quality as it is. A lot of the other YouTubers have already covered quite a bit of points, again, namely the Cold Mine Man, and really there is not much I would have added to the topic. Now, we added some things in the comments as well, because he got absolutely flamed in the comments, because he was apparently not nuanced enough in a 20-minute video, which I just think is ridiculous. I do think that you can always take a little bit of salt, you can take the essence of what is said, and not take it black and white, incredibly literate, and then bend the words due to that. But we're not gonna go into that. I just want to say, yes, we have a problem. Yes, I want it to change. And yes, I want to be a voice in this matter. The unfortunate reality is just that I don't have much time to do so. So I do want to address it. I do want to mention that I'm fed up with the way that all of this is going. But I do think that we can fix this as long as we keep it civil. Don't start lashing out on devs, don't start lashing out on mods, don't start lashing out on anyone, and try to solve this stuff together. The second we start getting mad, we start doing things that are not socially acceptable, we lose the moral high ground and they will just shut us down. They will very likely do that regardless, but that is not the point. We want to give them as little ammo as we need, because everything we give them, they want to take away. The same thing with our money. Now, the way it's been heading, the way the game is playing out, the way it's developing, the way all of this finally comes together yet again in 2026, it's time that we vote with our wallets. And I don't mean don't buy anything, because I know that is not going to happen. People want to grind. People want the shiny vehicles. I have done this myself. I am not pointing fingers. Yes, I get a lot of stuff for free from Gaijin just to review it for you guys. And I try to give my honest opinion. People call me a sellout when I call 99% of the premiums that I review absolute stinkers. But that is a topic for another time. But I do want to just quickly sprinkle that in here, because it is something that kind of annoys me. I am not Gaijin's lapdog. I have always said what I thought. I haven't sugarcoated anything. Yes, I've made some mistakes on some objective issues. Yes, I have had some opinions that maybe could have been a little bit more nuanced, but at the end of the day, I have always been true to my word. And this also goes into sponsorships, something that I do just want to quickly mention, whether it's Raid Shadow Legends, whether it's World of Tanks, and whether you like those games or not, you cannot accuse me of lying. I don't say that the games are the best games in the world. I don't say that the gameplay loop is perfect. Yes, I'm trying to steer away from the negativity, but I'm still trying to be critical, and I'm still trying to give you something to at least enjoy in case you are waiting to watch anything really. Because I know some of you just watch anything I put out because you enjoy the type of content that I make. Not because I cover War Thunder, not because I do certain things in the game. None of these things matter. You just tune in to listen to me rant. Whether it's World of Warships, whether I'm streaming Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, whether I'm streaming Yakuza and I'm doing the absolute worst voice impressions ever known to man. You guys tune in, and I really appreciate that. When it comes to sponsorships, I will take them under 3 criteria. The first one is, does it harm anyone? The second one is it predatory? And 3, is it actually that bad? If it's a game that I can pass up to a 6 or above, then I don't really mind promoting it. And when I do promote a game that I think is not that fantastic, I would just say, no, I don't want to take the sponsorship. You have no idea how many sponsorships just get thrown out of the window because I don't want anything to do with them. BetterHelp approached me, and I'll let you know they offered me 3,800 euros to make a 1-minute segment in the start of my video, and I almost took it. I'm a big advocate of mental health. I struggled with it in the past. I'm a paramedic. I am in the healthcare sector, and I want people to do well. I want people to be healthy, whether that is physically or whether that is mentally. And then I learned about their practices. Keep in mind, this is after I completed the video, this is after I signed a contract, and then I learned that a lot of the people that are helping you get better, with massive quotation marks, are sometimes drunk. They are often unlicensed, and they might just cause more damage than they actually fix. This is unacceptable, and with a lot of, well, tedious back and forth, we didn't publish it. I didn't get any money, I didn't promote them, I just never spoke of it. I didn't want to give them any publicity, because guess what? I think they are complete scum. And I don't care how much money they offer me, because 3,800 euros is a lot of money. I'm not trying to discredit that. It's not like it's chump change for me, not in the slightest. But we're not gonna be doing that. And it's the same thing for War Thunder. I will not tell you to buy stuff that I don't stand behind. I will not tell you to do things that I don't think are in your best interest. Do I play the game for myself? No, not really anymore. And this is why I only play to record. I'm trying to inform you guys. I'm trying to help you guys get better if I possibly can. Yeah, I am washed compared to 4 years ago, but I also play the game like 1 week every 2 months, and then once when the patch drops. I am washed, and I'm not afraid to say it, but I still have all the knowledge that I used to have, and I'm trying to just pump that into the War Thunder community. The tutorials suck balls. There is not a lot of great content when it comes to energy fighting, when it comes to target prioritization, and I'm not shaming any of these people, because these topics are incredibly hard to capture within a singular video, and that's why I try to put out a different vehicle every time I make one. The more vehicles you see being handled, the more planes you see interacting with each other, the easier it becomes to understand the differences between flight models. There's a reason I do this. I don't play the game for myself anymore. Yes, it brings me a stable income together with my job. Yes, I'm very blessed and I'm very grateful for this, and it put me in a position that I never could have dreamed of. Is a little bit far-fetched, but you get what I'm saying. I am trying to make something entertaining, educational, and perhaps ruffle a few jimmies to make a change in this community, because I do think that it's about time for that. Vote with your wallets, people. Don't buy the slop. Don't buy AI models. Don't buy copy-paste that have been added for the 6th time in the same tech tree. Buy the good vehicles. Show them what we want. Don't show them that we will buy anything they will spoon feed to us. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.